Day 7, Dare 7. Love believes the best. Love believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. 1 Corinthians 13:7. In the deep and private corners of your heart, there's a room, and it's called the appreciation room. It's where your thoughts go when you encounter positive and encouraging things from your spouse. And every so often, you enjoy visiting this special place. And on the wall, there's written words and phrases that describe the good attributes about your mate. These may include characteristics like honesty, intelligent, or phrases like diligent worker, wonderful cook, or beautiful eyes. They're things that you discovered about your husband or your wife that have embedded themselves in your memory. When you think about these things, your appreciation for your spouse begins to increase. In fact, the more time you spend meditating on these positive attributes, the more grateful you are for your mate. Most of the things in the appreciation room were most likely written in the initial stages of your relationship. You could summarize them by the things that you liked and the things that you respected about your loved one. They were true, honorable, and good. And you spent a great deal of time dwelling on them in this room before you were married. You may have found that you don't visit this special place as often as you did. That's because there's another competing room nearby. Down another dark corridor of your heart lies the depreciation room. And unfortunately, you visit there as well. On its walls are written things that bother you, things that irritate you about your spouse. These things were placed there out of frustration, hurt feelings, and the disappointments of unmet expectations. Their bad habits, their hurtful words, their poor decisions, they're written in large letters across the wall, written from one end to the other. And if you stay in this room long enough, you get depressed. And then you start expressing things like, my wife is so selfish, or my husband gets on my nerves, or maybe I think I married the wrong person. Some people write very hateful things in this room. Emotional injuries fester here, adding more and more remarks to the wall. It's where ammunition is kept for the next big fight, and bitterness is allowed to spread like a disease. In this room, people fall out of love. In this room is where divorce is plotted. Spending time in the depreciation room will kill a marriage. For every second that you spend in the depreciation room, the less and less you start to care about your spouse, about their feelings, about their wants, their needs. You may say, but those things are true. They did hurt me. But the things are also true in the appreciation room. Which one will you dwell in? We've all sinned. But we have this unfortunate tendency to downplay our own negative attributes while putting our partner's failures under a magnifying glass. But let's get down to the real issue. It's a choice. You have to decide to stop running into that room and lingering there day after day or after every frustrating event in your relationship. It does you no good. It drains the joy out of your marriage. Love chooses to believe the best about people. It gives them the benefit of the doubt. It's time to let love lead your thoughts and your focus. The only reason you should go in that room to write anything is to write covered in love over the walls of resentment, covered in love over the walls of hurt and disappointment. Develop the habit of reining in your negative thoughts and start focusing on the positive attributes of your mate. This is a crucial step as you learn to lead with your heart, to truly love your spouse. It's a decision that you make whether you think they deserve it or not. Today's dare. Get 2 sheets of paper. On the first piece of paper, write out all the positive attributes of your husband or your wife. Then do the same with the negative things on the second sheet. Place both sheets in a secret place for another day. There's a different purpose and plan for each of them. At some point during the remaining of the day, pick a positive attribute from the first list and thank your spouse for having that characteristic. I dare you. Now get to work.